Imagine that tomorrow morning you wake up with only $10 in your pocket. No rich parents, no famous last name, no powerful connections, no university degree from a world famous school, just a dream that everyone around you believes is impossible. Now, let me ask you a question. Would you still believe that one day you could become a billionaire? Most people would answer no. Not because they aren't intelligent, not because they don't work hard, but because they've already convinced themselves that success belongs to someone else. We grow up believing that billionaires are different. We imagine they were born lucky. We think they had opportunities that ordinary people never receive. And when we see their private jets, luxurious houses, billion-dollar companies, and smiling faces on magazine covers, it only confirms what we already believe. They were simply born to win. But here's the truth. You're only seeing the final chapter of a story that began many years earlier. You don't see the sleepless nights. You don't see the painful failures. You don't see the rejection. You don't see the fear. In English, there's a beautiful expression for revealing the hidden truth. To pull back the curtain. It means to reveal what really happens behind the scenes. So today, let's pull back the curtain. Let's discover what really separates ordinary people from billionaires. And while we do that, you'll naturally improve your English vocabulary, learn powerful business expressions, and understand how successful people think. But before we talk about money, let's talk about something much more important: belief. Because every billionaire's journey begins with one unbelievable decision: the decision to keep moving, even when nobody else believes in them. In 1995, a man walked into a small internet company with an idea. At that time, the internet was still new. Most people barely understood what it was. He told his friends that one day people would buy almost everything online: books, clothes, electronics, even groceries. People laughed. They couldn't imagine buying products without touching them first. Some even called the idea ridiculous. But that man ignored the laughter. He believed the future looked different from the present. That man was Jeff Bezos. He started Amazon in a tiny garage. There were no giant warehouses, no millions of customers, no billion-dollar investors waiting in line, only an idea and an incredible willingness to learn. Today, Amazon serves hundreds of millions of customers across the world. The lesson? Every giant company once looked incredibly small. Now let me teach you another useful English idiom: to fly blind. Imagine a pilot trying to fly through thick clouds without being able to see the sky. That's flying blind. In English, to fly blind means trying to do something without enough information, experience, or guidance. Jeff Bezos was flying blind. Nobody had built a business like Amazon before. There was no instruction manual, no online course, no YouTube tutorial. He had to discover everything himself. And maybe you're flying blind too. Perhaps you're learning English without expensive teachers. Maybe you're trying to build a business with nothing more than your phone. Maybe you're chasing a dream that nobody around you understands. If that's true, you're in exactly the same place where many billionaires once stood. Now, here's something fascinating. People think successful people never fail. Reality says the opposite. They fail more than everyone else. Why? Because they try more things. There's another English expression you should never forget: trial and error. Trial and error means learning by trying different methods until one finally works. Think about a child learning to walk. The child falls, gets up, falls again, gets up again. Nobody laughs, nobody tells the child to quit, because everyone understands that falling is part of learning. So why do adults become afraid of making mistakes? Why do we expect ourselves to succeed on the very first attempt? Billionaires don't think that way. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every failure becomes information. Every rejection becomes experience. Thomas Edison famously tested thousands of different materials before inventing the practical light bulb. Someone once asked him, "Didn't you fail 1,000 times?" He smiled. "No. I simply discovered 1,000 ways that didn't work. That single sentence changed history. Imagine if he had quit after the 10th attempt, or the 100th. The world might have remained in darkness much longer. Failure isn't the opposite of success. Failure is often the price of success. Now let's travel to China. A young English teacher dreamed of creating an online marketplace. He applied for more than 30 jobs. Rejected. He applied to work at KFC. 24 people applied. 23 were hired. Only one was rejected. That one person was Jack Ma. He even applied to Harvard University multiple times. Rejected. Again and again. Most people would have accepted defeat. Jack Ma didn't. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" he asked, "What can this teach me?" Years later, he founded Alibaba. Today, millions of businesses use his platform every single day. Think about that. The man who couldn't get an ordinary job built one of the world's biggest companies. Success doesn't always begin with opportunity. Sometimes it begins with rejection. In English, there's another wonderful word, resilience. Resilience means the ability to recover quickly after difficulties. Life will test your resilience. Learning English will test your resilience. Building a business will test your resilience. Every meaningful goal will. The question isn't whether you'll fail. The real question is, what will you do after you fail? Because the people who change the world aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who always stand back up. And that's where every billionaire story truly begins. Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with me today. I hope this story inspired you and helped you improve your English at the same time. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next story. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.